Okay, we have to be a little bit faster. That's all. We just have to be a little bit faster. Good morning. It is Red Friday morning caffeine. The last few minutes of it, but it took us some time to work it out. We have to be a little bit faster. I'm Dave Glovin. You're not. You're on the Dave Glovin profile, or you're on the Boogie with the Bull profile over there on YouTube, or you're on Streetlock, STREETLOC.com, probably from the YouTube Reconnect, but we'll do that immediately after the broadcast. It is Red Friday, like we said, and the purpose of Red Friday is to remember everyone deployed, whether you are deployed here in the United States as a member of ICE, or you are deployed around the world as a member of the Marines, the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, the Coast Guard, a member of Space Force. It doesn't really matter to me. You're in the United States military and you're doing a wonderful job protecting us. That is what you need to do. Now that we have said that, we're going to move to the important thing of the day. You have to decide, meaning that you have to watch the tape. You have to listen to the reports. You have to decide how you feel about an ICE officer doing his job and unfortunately killing someone. In the process of doing his job, he shot and killed Renee Good, who was there as a paid protester from Colorado. Somewhere they paid her to be there. And she went and she got involved in what was going on with ICE and ended up being shot to death. You have to decide whether or not that is right or whether or not that is wrong. And you have to make the decision for yourself. Because on Facebook, if you go to one side, they want you to believe that it was wrong. If you go to the other side, they want you to believe that it's justified. So you have to decide for yourself. That officer pulled his weapon. He thought he was in grave danger and he fired. And that's probably what you would have done. Maybe you would have just let the car drive away and recorded the license plate number if you were professional enough to be able to do that at the same time that you were doing your job. Anyway, we're going to do a quick Xander Gibb Memorial Rehearsal. America First, you've got it. Donald Trump Group, you've got it. United We Stand, you've got it. Mega News Nation, Red Patriots for America, We Need Patriots, Conservative Freedom Founders, American Regulators, The Red Mega Nation, as well as United Patriotic News, you've got it. And because there's 11 of you to send it to this morning, I am going to send it to one more. I'm going to send it to Boogie with the Bull Uncensored, one of my favorite groups on Facebook. We named the broadcast after it, believe it or not. Good afternoon. Robin Brunson is on her lunch break. She's also in the live chat over on Facebook, and we appreciate that. We're going to slide this one down one more time so that it's monitoring the chat room in case I go and type in there. But you have to decide. It's very simple. Was there reason to do what ICE did, or did ICE overreact? Either way, you have to decide. The rest of it is just, we're in some troubling times, if you ask me. You're just in some troubling times. You don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. You can continue reading news feeds and feeling how you want to feel based on what is in those news feeds. You can go to different sites and read their news feeds and feel and understand and comment as you wish. Do not get locked up on doing it just on Facebook, on Instagram, on Threads. You can go to all over the place. You can go to X, you can go to Truth Social. You can just go all over the place and find out what other people think. And you can speak your mind as to what you think. And you should do that at every opportunity that you get. Uh, we are here Monday through Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. We had a lot of technical problems today that I had to kind of come to grips with and get figured out, and I apologize for that. If you saw any of the previous ones, I had a bad day, but I'm on a bad day. Lewy body dementia and Parkinson's, and sometimes you just have a bad day. You try to do what you want to do, and it doesn't work out. So I sat here at my desk and I did it until I figured it out. Need to be a little bit faster on the opening, or do it the old-fashioned way, which is to set a 45-minute countdown and then send it out to wherever you want it, and then come and do the broadcast, and we're ready to go. It's really that simple. Or you use OBS or StreamYard or whatever live stream you want to use. But this morning, I'm just here to tell you it's okay to think how you want to think, but you got to think outside of the box. Why? I don't know. So if you drive from Colorado to Minnesota and you want to get mad at the ICE people and you interfere, you might end up the same way as Renee. Do I feel that was the right way? No. Renee had children, and it's not a good example for your children, really. It is a good example that you have the right to peacefully protest things that you're upset with. That is a privilege that you as an American have, and you can go stand on the sidewalk with your signs that say ICE get away or whatever you want to put on those signs. But you really can't get involved in what they're there to do, because they have a job to do. And if you interfere with it, you could end up dead. So think about that. Do you really want to be dead? I wish that she had looked at the officers and put her hands out the window and said, I just need a moment before I get out of my car. And if they said to her, why? I just need to decompress from what is happening and be able to step out of my car and be okay. You want to arrest me? That's okay. You want to take me and detain me? That's okay. But I didn't mean to hurt the officer, and I don't know what his intentions were for me, but maybe that's what we needed to do. Because in that moment, everybody would have spoken to everybody, and everybody would have understood where everybody was coming from. And you still would have probably gotten arrested, still probably would have gotten detained, but you'd still be with us. I don't care if you wanted to go and protest. But what I do care about is that somebody paid you to go protest, or is alleged to have paid you to go protest, because they didn't want to be there themselves. To them, you're expendable. They just hire another one. Maybe that should be an eye opener. Maduro was a bad man in the sense that he sent bad stuff to the United States. It's that simple. Bad people got let into the United States by the previous administration. Maybe it was okay, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. To me, it wasn't okay. We should have known who got in and why they were here. And if they deserved a chance to be an American and live the American dream, then maybe they got a chance to be here. Australia is in the house. That means we're truly international. Dingo Dundee from Australia is using my profile picture. But that's okay. I tried to put this together 3 times because I left because of those people from wherever, from troll land, that just wanted to come here and be a troll. Well, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. If it's not what I want to do, there are ways to turn you off. Because if you're in Australia right now and you're dealing with the Australian government clamping down on you for talking as any of us do, then maybe, just maybe, you know where I'm coming from. Freedom of speech. It's not free. Really. If you stand by what you say, that's great. If you don't stand by what you say, that's great. I don't know. If you work for somebody and they hand you a ream of paper every day and you go into your studio and read that ream of paper, then I guess maybe that's what you want to do. If you go into that studio and you tell the world how you see it, maybe that's okay too. If you're Dan Bongino, I guess you go to Washington, D.C. and try to make it a better place, and then realize you can't. So you leave that place and you try to present it the way you were presenting it before. I'm sure there's a lot that he can't talk about, but there's a lot that he can talk about. And I'm sure that's what you're going to hear about. And maybe it's worth saving us, maybe it's not. Dingo Dundee says, I'm a vet, but if America burns, we all burn. Okay? Whoops, I didn't want to do that. If America burns, we all burn. Let me try to see if there it is. If America burns, we all burn. I've never heard it that way. Australia and Alaska in the comments. Congrats, Dave. You're international. Yep, we are international. You're welcome to join the program if you want to join, William. I just baffled myself with how I couldn't do it. So I just spent a bunch of times putting it together until I got it right. So we're back here. And if I can't get it right anymore, my 64th birthday present to myself next week is going to be being a professional guest and coming on and saying it where it needs to be said. I'm just real, Dundee. Dirt Dingo. Excuse me. Yep, you are. Everybody's real. I've always said that everybody is welcome to be in a Boogie with the Bull chat room or on the broadcast with me and say whatever you have to say. You just have to mean it. I don't have to agree with you on everything, and you don't have to agree with me on everything, and I don't want you to. But on some things, we do speak the same. And on some things, we may not speak the same. You know, you have a right to a gun. If you want to own a gun, you have a right to it. But honestly, as I said on all the attempts I tried to do this morning, he didn't go to work. At least I don't think he went to work, that he was going to just kill people, kill someone. I don't think that's anywhere near what was in his mind. But in that same situation, you would probably do the same. If she hit you with her car, or part of her car, you would have probably done the same thing. Were you right for doing it? Were you wrong for doing it? I don't know. I really don't know. But I can tell you that if I was in the same situation, I'd probably do the same thing. Because I got to protect me, and I got to protect my team. And I got to protect the people who are peacefully protesting. But if you get involved, you've given up being a peaceful protester. And I listened to Facebook yesterday, and I read Facebook yesterday, and it's like people were saying Ashley Babbitt was wrong. Well, the way I see it, Ashley Babbitt wasn't wrong. She's a well-decorated member of the United States military, and she went to Washington, D.C., and she got caught up in what was happening there that day, and we still don't know, and we may never know who was responsible for that day becoming that day. Vice President Mike Pence, got his name wrong. Vice President Mike Pence was responsible for what happened that day. The rules of the Senate, I believe, say the Vice President of the United States is there that day. He, she, it does not have a vote. He doesn't have a vote. He's not there as a senator. He's there as one person to make sure it flows right. So 100 senators were charged that day with voting that day. to certify the election. 100 senators, 2 from every state, and we sent whoever they were. Okay? They were charged with representing us. If they protested and their protest was filled out properly and all that BS, then all Mr. Pence had to do was allow those protests to be heard, and then when they were all heard, then there could have been a vote. And if it was 2 for Biden and 98 for Trump, then Trump won. That's all it was. And now you hear Dominion voting machines in Venezuela, and somehow they're tied into it. Well, you know what? They don't need to be tied to it anymore. Don't use them anymore. You don't like the results? Don't use them anymore. Don't pay them either. And that's where I see it. If you don't believe you owe, then don't pay them. And why we would hire a Venezuelan company to run our voting machines is beyond me. Well beyond me. We're the United States of America. If we really wanted voting machines in this country, we would have found the person and the machine and used them. No, if I drove a state over to attend a protest so I could stand in the way of police and law enforcement, then tried to run an officer over when confronted, I'd expect to be shot. Well, I think you're 100% right, William. I don't think she went to go get in the way that morning, but maybe she did. She left at least one child because of what she did. I'm not saying you don't have a right to protest, but there's a right way and a wrong way. I'm only saying there's a right way and a wrong way. And the way I see it, the way I watched it, it was handled by her, by Renee Good, the wrong way. Like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, she threw her hands out of the window and said, hey, we all just have to stop, decompress. You can take me, you can hold me. Maybe she'd still be alive. But to leave the world, you're in charge of young ones, it doesn't set the example that you want to set. You know, maybe unfortunately standing peacefully with your sign doesn't do it either. I don't know. I really don't know. Ashley Babbitt was wrong for crawling through a broken window, but a 300-pound man didn't need a gun to stop her on the other side, let alone need to shoot her to save his life. No, I don't think she needed to pass either. No, I don't. And now you read on Facebook and on other meta sites, other sites you go to, Nancy Pelosi says she was responsible for it. The highest ranking officer up on Capitol Hill. So what do? We say the president, you're not responsible for it. We say, Nancy Pelosi, you and your people are responsible for it. We find them all. Do we execute them? Or do we believe the BS and they've already been executed? That was the weird thing that I heard in the beginning, was that it was all going to be military tribunals and everything was going to be done. And as it was done, we were going to be informed that it was done. And then when it was done, we would be informed. And then maybe it'd just be done. But I want to know why, if a person wears Nancy Pelosi's mask, does that person do all the things she did while she was with us? Do we take care of that person too? I mean, come on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people wearing the same mask. They all look somewhat different. Is it really necessary to do that? If Tom Hanks is really guilty of harming our children, then yeah. And we have proof, then yeah. We need to bring him back and make him face the music. Yeah. And JFK Jr. going to be brought back to the monarchy to rule us. For Baron Trump time, traveling, or justice for the stolen election and political prisoners. Donald John Trump, as far as I am concerned, lost the 2020 election because Democrats played with it and made sure he lost. We investigated it and we found out he won. So he was cheated out of the 2020 election. Whether or not you agree that he has another term, I don't really care. Unless you do what you say you're going to do. Peacefully, we, the people who vote, need to come together and decide what we, the people, feel. Because if the answer is the Democrats are telling you no, say no, say no, say no, say no, and be pissed about everything he does, I don't want to hear it. Because I don't want to wake up every morning and decide what I'm supposed to be pissed about and what I'm not supposed to be pissed about. I just don't want to be pissed anymore. I really don't. It's enough trouble in my head trying to figure out who to ask to be on the broadcast, if they can. Everybody is busy, I know. Everybody has their own broadcast, I know. But, you know, I guess I have to tell you at 10 o'clock in the morning, or whatever time it ends up being. Today it was 11 o'clock, 11:30, when I finally figured out that I got it right. Although I need to be a bit faster at the beginning, or I just need to accept that I can't be a bit faster at the beginning and do it the way that I'm going to do it. And be happy that I'm going to do it that way. I know you did, William. I know you did. But you know what? It hit me yesterday when you said it. 4 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning here. Hey, you can't. Because if it was 4 o'clock in the morning for me, I might not want to be on at 4 o'clock in the morning either. And you know, Lady Radio bites people differently. If I could, I'd sit in front of this thing until my wife, Donna, got home and do my thing. Why? Because I'm stupid. And that's just what I want to do. You know, created this thing to put everybody together to try to figure it all out. That's what I like to do. You know, am I part of the problem because I armchair quarterback everything? Probably. Am I part of the problem because I don't get out there and fight with other people peacefully? Probably. But I don't drive. So I have to rely on other people if I was going to go drive. If it's far away, you know, there's risks with me if I travel. You know. So you got to do what you got to do. What I got to do is put this thing together each time we come on and hope that there's other people, if there are, or there's me, just telling you how I feel. And maybe that's what I need to do, just tell you how I feel every day. And just, you know, hope that other people can, and hope that other people, you know, have a life too. You know, there's nothing wrong with other people not being available all the time. What's wrong is that I don't put the research time in myself because I'll lose interest in it halfway through it. My brain will snap and go off in another direction. And you know what? It's hard to do. So maybe it is better to be a professional guest, as I call it, and be Paul Lynde in everybody's Hollywood squares, because I'll get a chance to speak when it's my turn, and not get a chance to cut people off and try to drop my view first. I won't forget it if I write it down. I just got to move things around so I can fit the piece of paper, and then I'm going to write things down on. There's nothing, or just sit there and wait until it's my turn. You know? But we're messed up. Everybody's messed up. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. We're spending more time arguing about things like what are the effects than just doing it. The effects of what we did in Venezuela, we won't know right away. Why? Because it's 2026, and evidently their oil harvesting is in 2026. So we have to help with billions of dollars to bring in the world. And then we got to make sure everybody gets a piece of the pie to make back that $1 billion that they spent. And sometimes that doesn't happen. I mean, sometimes everybody gets a piece of the pie, but they don't want to control the pie. I don't give a damn what you do with the oil, where you sell it. I really don't. But the people of Venezuela deserve the money. And the people of Venezuela deserve to have a life because they have the oil. The people of Iran deserve a life to be free. Because I don't think there's a whole lot of people that wake up every morning in Iran that want to bomb the hell out of Israel or bomb the hell out of everybody else or fund everybody else, other than maybe they just don't get enough time to say, hey, Listen to us. Everybody's the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. You're the bad guy. I don't want to be the bad guy anymore. I really don't. I don't want to be the bad guy anymore. I felt bad, William, because it dawned on me in the middle of that conversation that it was 4 o'clock in the morning. But, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'd probably need more than coffee to get through it myself. I probably need a fire set somewhere to make it warm and cozy for me. That's okay. It's okay. Edit whatever people need to edit for your broadcasts. That's great. I gave myself an hour to film. I invite people who bring video with them. Why? Because I don't want to do it, mainly because I don't want to deal with the illegal action that comes from it. I'd love to play music, but that stupid message that says, oh, you've been shut off in 14 countries of the world, 13 of which you've never heard of. And why Belize? Because you've never heard of them too. I played the opening theme music with the great job that happened in the intro. And then all of a sudden, I've been playing it for, I think, 3 years. I get a warning from Facebook. Oh, we muted the music because we don't have rights to play it in Belize and 13 other countries. Why? It's a fucking piece of music. I don't even think who wrote the music cares. I don't even think who owns the music cares. It's 58 seconds of music. There's more important things in life. If you don't want me to play the music, I won't play the music. I'll go back to how I did it before. It's a great piece of artwork, but I'll probably get a warning for that. There's so much more important stuff to worry about than stupid things like music. Because I'm sure Ozzy Osbourne went to his rewards knowing that everybody on earth was going to play his songs, not worrying that a record company was going to sue them for doing so. We don't make any money over what we do, but we do it anyway. We don't make any money over what we do, but we do it anyway. Because there is so much information to get to you, and so much information to get to you the right way, that we just do it. And when we can't do it anymore, I guess we go away. Which is what I've said. When I can't pay for someone to restream the video anymore, I'll figure out a way to do it. And I already did. I lose one destination, which leaves me with Facebook and YouTube, and I can live that way. And if I lose Facebook and I lose YouTube, I can go someplace else. You play what you want anyway. Facebook makes it easy to leave their platform, and you can stream on a real free speech platform like Rumble and Wimkin. This is true, William. You can. But I decided to be the exception to that rule. I wanted to be on Facebook. I wanted to be on Rumble. I wanted to be on Winkin. I wanted to be on X. I wanted to be on Z, everywhere at the same time. Because I figured if I made myself available to everybody all the time, they'd hear. But, you can't. You'll drive yourself crazy. Because with the computer I have, I can probably do it. I can make a countdown loop that's really long, enough time to go, then start the broadcast everywhere I want to go, be on YouTube, and then send it to everywhere I want to send it to, so that we all go live at the same time. Or I can just admit I'm 64 years old as of next Friday, and maybe it's more fun to just come and open my mouth and speak when it's my turn and not worry about all the live producing garbage and leave it to all of the people that want to fight everybody. And we only fight Facebook, because I very rarely get nailed on YouTube for something that I played. Why? Because it was on YouTube to begin with. I don't understand why Meta puts things on Facebook and then turns around and nails you if you share it. I really don't. I don't know why Meta puts things on Facebook they want you to read and nails you for it. If they thought about it, they'd realize what we do, what everybody does. We took this blank canvas called Facebook and we made it what it is. And then they fucked it up and told us what it was going to be. Well, that's great. I think YouTube might be guilty of the same thing, but not as bad. Why? Because there's a lot of people that make a lot of money over there, and they probably wouldn't have put up with it. And Rumble is the same thing. There's a lot of people with a lot of money. They wouldn't have put up with it. Winkin, they're trying to do it, but it's damn expensive. Okay? It is damn expensive. It starts at $300 million for the amount of space that you need to save everybody's broadcast. And they want to be free, and we want to be free, and you either have to agree to their force-fed advertising around you being on their network. That's okay, I guess. And most of it that I see is different coffee companies that are on. I've always said, let me try your coffee. Send me a box of K-Cups. Send me a pound. I'll drink it every day. And I'll even put your logo on the cup for the day that I'm drinking it. If I could, I'd have my own way. I'd drink it out of my own cup. But Lewy body dementia and Parkinson's, and I can't always hold my cup. And I know it's true because I killed my Windows 11 laptop by dumping my coffee on it, not once but 3 times in the same day, at the same moment. And then, because I'm an idiot, I put it first thing I see every morning when I wake up. I put it on the top shelf of my closet to remind me how stupid I was. Not how stupid I was that I put a computer that is 99% great, put that in a box And then 5 years, forgot about it. It made my life a living hell trying to do what I do. But it didn't stop me. It just made me work harder. And if you sit with most people who are copyrighted, as far as copyrighted material goes, I think they're going to ask you how you used it. And if you tell them how you used it, they're going to be okay with it. But the problem is they've got digital rights managers who get in the way, and this person and that person who gets in the way, and Facebook who gets in the way. And it's a joke. It really is a joke. Because you get a complaint from Facebook that you did something wrong on Facebook, and they've got to find 500 more, or excuse me, 499 complaints before they send them to the copyright owner, who then has to go through them and look for the ones that they stand a chance on punishing. Why? Because I played music on my show, and one day you said, oh, that belongs to somebody else, and you didn't ask for permission. I don't think it belongs to anybody. I think it belongs to someone who gave permission to use it how you want. That's why I didn't have one before, because I was so paranoid about getting sued by somebody for it. Really. It's not about the beginning of the broadcast or the end of the broadcast. It's about the broadcast. It's about the information that goes out. Sue me if the information is wrong. Not because you think it's wrong, but because it is wrong. Then maybe sue me for that. Be mad at me for that. Be mad at me if I give you bogus information that's wrong. I try not to give you bogus information. I read everywhere I can before I come on, or I speak based on what I read, people I talk to. Because if I had my chance, everybody would be on, and everybody would be in the middle square. Everybody would get a chance to talk, because we all tell it differently. Why? Because there's different stuff that we're all concerned about. If you sit and play trivia, you can get sued because your friend might get sued because they asked questions that came from somebody else. You might get sued because of that. If you took part in it, you might get sued because you took part in it. Come on. Stop being Sue happy. Stop being Sue happy. Stop thinking you're going to have the golden payday. You're going to wake up one morning and $100 million is going to be in your account. Great. It'll disappear before I spend it because because it went to somebody else. Okay? I can't even fathom $100 million. What I could do with $100 million, besides build myself a really nice studio. And I might finally get my hands on the steering wheel and pedals that I really want. Why? Because I hate playing road driving games with the arrow keys on my laptop. Okay? I just want to feel like I used to feel like when I drove a car. And that's going to require a steering wheel in front of me and pedals on the floor, I guess. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm wrong, I guess, because I want to feel that way. or I'm wrong because I want to come on Facebook and tell you about it. The funniest thing I did with a car was I drove on a game where it was a simulated San Francisco, and I found Sutro Tower, and then I drove myself off a cliff accidentally. My grandson was 2 years old, I think, when it happened, and he laughed hysterically. So hard that his father, my youngest son, came and took a picture of it because he wanted to be able to have it again if anybody ever did it again, or I ever did it again. Those are the things you remember. I remember things long ago because Lewy body dementia, that's what you do. You remember things long ago. You don't remember things 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, an hour ago. You just don't. Maybe I need to. Maybe I need to work on that. Parkinson's. Maybe I need to get up, get out of this chair and go walk for an hour a day. Walk around the community, meet other people, talk to them if they'll talk to me. Maybe that's what I need to do. The oldest guy I know to have Lewy body dementia was in his 80s, and he passed away, had a heart attack. So technically, he didn't pass away from the Lewy body dementia. He passed away from having a heart attack. And then I deal with you got to have an autopsy to prove that you had it. I mean, the x-ray shows that I have it. But, they got an autopsy to make sure. Well, what if they're wrong? What if they're wrong? What if the Michael J. Fox Foundation finds the cure to Parkinson's and we don't have it anymore? Wouldn't that be great rather than fighting about what it's going to cost or if your insurance company is going to pay for it? Insurance is one of those things you buy that you hope you're never going to have to use. What if they helped the one time you needed it? What if they helped the one time you needed it? Mine's great. They help a lot of things. They help a lot of things. And they must make billions off of me too because they're still there doing it. And they do it every year. But I'm supposed to believe that everybody hates me and everybody is looking for ways to not do what they need to do for me. That the grocery store is selling me food that's going to kill me. That the gas station is going to make gas so high I can't afford it. Same thing with the electric company. Same thing with this company. Same thing with that company. They don't seem to be doing that. Yeah, things may go up a little, but things go down a little. Where you learn how to use the amount of what you need. And then that's where your bill stays. I mean, I don't know. Beautiful Florida day, 79 degrees, mostly sunny right now. It should hit this. No, that's not what I want. 79 degrees, 80 degrees this afternoon, 81 degrees. An hour later, 2 o'clock. Up till about 4 o'clock, you're in the 80s. And then it goes down from there. Well, I can deal with that. You know, I can even deal with it getting a little bit colder if I'm in bed because I'm in bed. I'm under 2 blankets. And, I can deal with it. Deal with it. Life is what you make it. And you decide, not anybody else, you decide what your life is. Like I said, I don't want to worry about everything when I get out of bed. So I lay in bed and decide, okay, I'll work on that today. I'll work on that today. I'll work on this today. Then the next day, well, maybe I'll work on this today and work on that today and preach this gospel and that gospel. You're going to go crazy if you sit in front of your computer and you believe everything, regardless of where you get it from. You got to drive yourself crazy. You got to go out in the community and see the community. And I'm the worst person to tell you that because I don't do it. I am. I'm the worst person because I don't tell you. Because that's not what I do. I just sit here and read until I get fed up, and then I go away. I'm going to plug this one in so that it charges. That's really what we should talk about, is what you need and what you don't. What I don't need. Look, I went away for a minute there. I got a closet full of what I need and don't need. I got an RCA tablet with a keyboard that needs a quick fix that they can probably do that will make it so that it will just charge right like it's supposed to. They don't have to replace the charger. I think they just have to replace a pin or check the solder on a pin. I got a Chromebook that I love. Why? Because it belonged to a network that did it, part of it, on that Chromebook, and I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. But I need to probably fix that. I got Windows 10 Pro on this, and people tell me every day, why do you have 10 Pro? Because it's not supported anymore, and you should be on 11. Well, 11 like too much coffee. So, I don't know. I don't want to be mad. I don't want to be mad at anybody. I only want to be mad at me if I deserve someone to be mad at me. Like I said, I make my world what it is. You make your world what it is. You want me in it? I'm glad to be in it. You don't want me in it? I'm glad not to have you in it. People on Facebook, they hate President Trump, but they got to go to France to tell me that. They don't like President Trump and anything that he ever does or tries to do. They got to go to Ireland to tell me that they don't like that. Why? Robert De Niro has finally earned Robert De Niro from me instead of Robert De Niro, because I think he woke up one day and said, this can't be the way it's got to be. So have other people. They worked all their lives and they're worth a couple of $1 million. But they're in New York and they got to worry about about everybody else. Why? Everybody else didn't worry about them. Come and eat at my restaurant. Be like, what's his name? I can see his face. Bon Jovi. You need a meal. Come and eat at my restaurant. I don't want to talk to you about politics. If you're hungry, come and eat at my restaurant. It'd be the same thing if I owned a restaurant. Come and eat at my restaurant because you're hungry. Let's talk about what we can do to make you not hungry. Let's talk about that. Really. In a game that I'm in, that I've been in for a long time, I have a character that's worth $450 quadrillion. Because everything he did with the $14,000 that he borrowed from someone else has worked. He owns the largest hospital and medical center in the United States, and he gives it free to anybody because they might need it. No questions asked, no strings attached. No, you got to pay for this, you got to pay for that. No. Just gives it away. Why? Because he does not understand why he's worth $450 quadrillion. He doesn't. And he doesn't want to be. And he's got everything that you think he needs to have. My phone is ringing. Hold on. Hang on. Hello? No, she didn't come out. Nope. I will, as soon as I finish the broadcast. Yeah. Well, I played around with it to try to figure out why I had problems with it. Nope. Oh, that's right. It's Friday. Okay. Okay. All right. I love you. Yep. I do. I love that lady. I love that lady. Do you love somebody? They put up with you? Everything you want to do? Because to me, life is a broadcast. I just want to sit here and broadcast everything, but that was things I forgot about because that's what you do. Should have made a note about that. But anyway, I'm Dave Glovin. You're not. Just play the copyrighted material on Rumble and send that link out so you avoid the community service violations. Even them were rigged. You go through so much to jump through all the hoops to be invited to community service. Some of the things they send me that they want me to do community service to are so stupid that I just don't get involved. One was about a restaurant. The guy said something that owned the restaurant. Somebody else thought that he should be spanked for that with a community notes violation. If that's what they want, I hope they spank him. I don't want the community service violations. I just want to come on and tell you everyone what I think about. Anyway, I've been on for an hour and 5 minutes now that we figured out how to do it right. I just have to move a little bit faster when we come on so that go from the music right to me. But, maybe we'll just do it the way that we're doing it. Or like I said, maybe we'll just do it with people that will allow me to come on and be Paul Lynn in the middle square. Because sometimes you just got to be Paul Lynn in the middle square. Sometimes it's more fun just to make people laugh, even if you do something stupid. But just to make people laugh. Sometimes I just wait for the right opportunity for that to come out. Because it's more fun to make people laugh. You know? It is Friday night. Or it is Friday, excuse me. It's daytime Friday right now. The American Rebellion is on the American Rebellion blogger page and 8 million other pages on the internet. But they are on the American Rebellion blogger page if you're on Facebook. I hope you will watch me. I hope you will watch William Lockett if he's there. I hope you will watch everybody. Why? Because we just have fun. We do. Somebody will bring up something crazy and then we'll all go off in that direction. And then someone else will bring up something crazy and we'll all go in that direction. Sometimes we just sit and go, what direction should we go next? That's the fun. And it can be there. If you want to make it, be there. So the American Rebellion at 7 p.m. tonight on the Eastern time on the American Rebellion blogger page. Not the group, the page. American Rebellion blogger page. There's two, so don't get confused. Or talk to me and I'll send you the link. I'll share the page with you. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. Because sometimes you just got to say what you got to say. And if people don't like it, they won't like it. Then we all just go on and somebody else. Or we just go on and have fun. That's what I thought we would do. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. If we can do it and have other people, we do it. If not, you got to listen to me for an hour, 10 minutes. But, the music isn't the problem. Where I want to do it is the problem. Why I think I want to be everywhere is the problem. But after 4, 5, 6 years on Facebook, I don't know, maybe that's the problem. Maybe after 3 years on YouTube, 4 years on YouTube, that might be the problem. I'm not worried about being rich from doing this. I really am not worried about being rich from doing this. Because if I was going to be rich from doing this, I'd already be rich from doing this. I just want to get you the right information. However, I have to get you the right information. Because sometimes you just need a kick to get the right information. And if you do it better than me, that's okay. I don't care. Don't care at all. People ask me, well, how come you sit on the bottom? And you just sit on the bottom and you bring other people on and then they go off and they do. Because they go off and do what they need to do. I'm on the bottom. Happy being on the bottom. They come back every once in a while sometimes because they want to come back. Sometimes they don't. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat the little stuff, as my dad used to say. Anyway, I'm David Glovin. You're not. An hour, 10 minutes, 40-something seconds. So we're going to hit an hour and 11 minutes pretty soon. So I'm going to go. But I apologize for all the technical issues this morning that you saw on Facebook and probably can still see on YouTube because I don't know how to delete things from YouTube. So it's all there. Go to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. You can watch it all. But the classic blunder was just trying to do it and make sure I still know how to do it. And if you want to do it with me, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, we're here. Friday, we wear red shirts, talk about remember everyone deployed. Friday takes about 15 minutes max, and then we go into whatever comes out of our mouths, or my mouth. You know? And sometimes it's on Saturdays at 10 a.m., and sometimes it's on Tuesday and Thursday at 7 o'clock. But if we do it Tuesday, Thursday, 7 o'clock, there's usually a reason for doing it Tuesday, Thursday, 7 o'clock. That's just what it is. Anyway, I'm Dave Glovin, and you're not, and I hope that you don't want to be. Because I'm happy being me. But anyway,